Jake Tapper, this time with Phil, um, Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil makes Jake Tapper go quiet with simple facts. Let's take a watch.
Humanity of most of the people that have come across the border, that doesn't make them immune from the law. The law is not optional. It's not a suggestion. You either enforce it or you don't.
Jake Tapper. God bless Jake Tapper. What a lucky guy. He puts out the book. He gets crushed by everybody for being a fraud and a liar. Again, I've said I'd like to talk to him in some bizarre sense. And as I said, when I was in Israel, I was just feeling like the spirit of peace and okay, fine. But he's got his show back. He doesn't have to talk about the book anymore. He brought on Dr. Phil yesterday. And Dr. Phil, I know him fairly well. The guy is very apolitical. He did not get into any of this to do politics. He got into all of this to help. It was a sort of Jordan Peterson-esque thing, right? To help people straighten out their own lives and deal with their own crap so that they could flourish to the best extent that they possibly could. He's become political, and now he's doing speeches with Trump because sanity is now on the Republican side. Here he is just basically laying out just obvious nonsense, obvious sense, I should say, sorry, obvious sense on CNN. I was trying to say CNN. That makes me think nonsense. Here we go.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass says that not having a heads up makes it difficult to plan for law enforcement, for LAPD, to plan for protests that pop up in response to the raids. I'm not sure if you've had a chance yet to, and then this is obviously an ongoing story, I'm not sure if you've had a chance to talk to Mayor Bass or Governor Newsom to get their sense of the overall safety implications as these protests continue.
Well, one thing I am bothered about is, listen, I've known Karen Bass for a long time, and I think she is a very nice person. I know her well, and I think her heart's in the right place on most things, most of the time. I'm not comfortable with the things I've heard her say since this took place. I spent an hour with Governor Newsom a week ago, Monday, I believe it was, talking with him. Both of them have made it clear that they don't support what's going on here. If you tell them ahead of time, what are they going to do? They talk about the network of people sending out information, alerting people that ICE is in the neighborhood, where to go, how to hide, how to do different things that make their operation more dangerous, alerting people that they're coming. How can you tell them what you're going to do if they're not going to be supportive of it? These are two elected officials that took an oath to support the Constitution and to enforce the laws. But yet they don't seem, initially at least, to be doing that. I think both of them seem to be coming around now, but they weren't doing that initially. And if they're not going to put their heart into this, how do you do it? Listen, Jake, nobody questions the humanity of most of the people that have come across the border. Most of the people, at least in my experience and what I've seen, are not criminals. They're not dangerous, vicious, violent criminals.
Right.
They are moms and dads. The Hispanic population historically is very family oriented. They're very church oriented. They're very family oriented. Nobody questions the humanity of most of the people that have come across the border. That doesn't make them immune from the law. The law is not optional.
Yep.
It's not a suggestion. You either enforce it or you don't. And if you don't like the law, and if it's flawed, change it. Those protests need to be on Capitol Hill. You don't need to be vilifying the officers on the street, the ICE agents, and throwing rocks at their heads. Do you think anybody asked a single ICE agent, do you think this is a good law? 48% of the border agents are Hispanic. They don't get a vote about this stuff. If they don't like it, change it. And I think a lot of it probably needs to be changed. But while it's the law, it's distinctly non-optional.
100%. And I think that's it's just spot on, Dr. Phil there. We saw Maxine Waters pointing and shouting at National Guardsmen as if they really have a choice. It doesn't matter. And if he's, it's a lot of Border Patrol. They are Hispanic. Their moms, their grandparents came from, Mexico, from different countries of the world. I'm Peruvian born. First generation immigrant here, but I became a citizen and I served my country in the United States Army, and I'm proud of that. And so but it's not our fault. Every time I talk about this, when I was in South Korea, and Trump actually went there, and I thought it was going to explode, and I really was, thinking about my life. And I was like, man, if this blows up here between him and the dictator of South Korea, then we're really going to be in trouble here because we're going to have to face the consequences. And because we are U.S. soldiers, we just follow orders, and we do it. We love to do it. We sign up for it. Um, but we're just following orders. So shouting and screaming at police officers, ICE officers, National Guardsmen, Marines, it makes no sense. That's where you know that these politicians are out of touch. Maxine Waters, 86, 85 years of age, 80, whatever it is, she's almost 90. She's out of touch with reality. She needs to retire. Just like I did, I asked Mitch McConnell to retire because what's the point? He's up there as well. Nancy Pelosi, all of these guys that are just, you guys are out of touch with reality. And nobody questions, as Dr. Phil said it, nobody questions the humanity side of things. That a lot of these people that came here illegally are good people leaving a tough situation in their countries. I'm Peruvian. I know. I have family in Peru that are dying to come here legally, and they can't. They just can't because the log is so. There's millions of people trying to apply for regular visas, and they can't do it because we already got so many immigrants here. We already got so many illegal immigrants. So the United States is scared to let anybody in, and it has been that forever. And it's not fair to them, right? It's not fair to these people that want to come here illegally. And so, and I applaud President Trump for adding, a touch of humanity when he spoke today about these farmers that are here illegally, not farmers, but helpers that are here illegally, but they've been here for a long time. But he said, they are great help to the farmers. They're law-abiding citizens, although not officially, not legally, but they don't get in trouble. They pay their taxes. They're sober, moral, and prudent people. Those are the people that maybe we can adjust and maybe we can have a look at because they serve our society. They're a great addition to our society. They're a great addition to our way of being, our way of living, better said, and they don't cause issues, right? And also he spoke about the hotel employees and a lot of other. And so I think that right there is a great, and it's going to be good for Trump, for him to add to be that way and not just so stern. And so I applaud President Trump for saying that because today when I heard that, it put a smile on my heart because it makes sense. It makes sense. You have to try to be balanced. Now the rapists, the murderers, the gang members, the terrorists, those there is no negotiation. They need to go effective immediately. And what they're doing right now, Tom Homan said it clearly that they are focusing now on the people that have been told to leave and they're not leaving. So plain and simple, those need to go as well.